Okay, we'll call the meeting to order of the Hampstead Town Council. The opening prayer. Dear Lord, we submit ourselves to you as your servants and the servants of the people of Hampstead who place their trust in us. Please allow every word that is spoken and every action taken to be in the best interest of Hampstead and for everyone gathered here tonight to be a stabilizing influence excuse me, on these unsettled times. O Lord, bless this meeting and our town. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remember to clap.
Jim?
Mayor Nevin,
Here.
Councilmember Barrett,
Here.
Councilmember Painter,
Here.
Councilmember Thomas,
Here.
Councilmember Oglesby,
Here.
and Councilmember Zolman.
Here.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And thank you for the service you provided our country.
Very welcome. Thank you.
All right, minute approvals.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Back to you, Jim, for the town manager's report.
Okay, on the water system centralization and modernization project, town staff met with staff of GMB Engineering, HDR Engineering, and surveying teams. We met on February 15th for the official kickoff meeting. Surveying and design teams are working in Hampstead on the pipeline projects and the water treatment facility site plans. We also received and reviewed a preliminary concept sketch plan on the Shiloh facility. We'll be meeting again with representatives of both engineering firms on April 4th to discuss the concept site plans, and once we give the input and some revisions made, then they will be submitted to Carroll County and to our town for the official review later in April. Also, after discussion between the engineering firms and our public works staff, it was determined that the existing site of the pump house for well 13, which is on Lower Beckley'sville, is not suitable for the new larger water treatment facility. So we checked some areas that are right in that general vicinity, and the revised plan is to build a new facility on the same parcel that is home to Chief Sites Park. It would be all the way on the western part of that parcel. The addition of the new building will not interfere with the operation of the park.
Be right up against the highway?
Kev?
Yeah, close.
Mhm.
It'll be the existing pump house will stay down there over the hill on Lower Beckersville, and it will pump the water from the well to the new treatment house, where it will be treated for PFAS removal, chemical additions, and then it will rejoin the system directly in front of that new pump house. It was a sort of a twofold situation. We also had a problem with getting gravity sewer down and out of that old facility, so we'll be able to just have gravity sewer right into the county system that runs literally through the park.
Okay.
Antietam Broadband should begin placing door hangers on residences in the Westwood Park, Shiloh, and Brandywine Station communities this week or next. These door hangers will explain the work to be done. They also contain Antietam's contact information for anyone with questions or wants to reach out to them. And the actual installation of the fiber lines should begin in the first part of April. The Stag property annexation, we received the staff reports from both the Maryland Department of Planning and the Carroll County Department of Planning. Both reports were favorable, no issues, and the annexation plan now goes to the Carroll County Planning and Zoning Commission for their review and recommendation next Tuesday, a week from today. With a favorable recommendation, the plan will then go to the Carroll County Commissioners on March 21st for discussion and possible approval, and then it will come back in front of this council on the April meeting for a public hearing, and then hopefully adoption of the resolution annexation. Projects, the developers wishing to construct a Weiss Gas and Go have requested a pre-submittal meeting with the county and town to discuss the project. Town staff have met with the developers and seen the plans. What we've seen so far adheres to all the requirements of the town code. The plan is to install a Weiss Gas and Go on the empty parcel next to Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Robertsfield Shopping Center. We have to look into the history of that parcel and just make sure there are no restrictions on it as far as a gas station.
As to your question, I don't think there are.
Okay. Just
So,
to make sure.
and is the developer still Holland?
Yes, well, it's actually, Weiss is the quote developer.
Because they're renting it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then also the Warshex Car Wash, which received approval of the conditional use in January from the Hampstead Board of Zoning Appeals. They contacted Carroll County about the site plan process. We did a pre-submittal meeting with them back in November. So I would expect them to submit their concept plans to the county and town in April.
This is the parcel that's at the corner of Oakmont.
Correct, the old New Windsor State.
What did they say about not being connected to town water?
They have a plan. It's all basically reclaimed water, and they're exploring the possibility of drilling a well on there for non-potable use, which you can do. And that has to go to MDE and the Carroll County Health Department. I don't know whether they're going to allow it or not.
So more to follow.
Correct.
Square peg in a round hole.
Preparation of the 2025 budget has begun. Cheryl will be meeting with the various departments in the upcoming weeks to discuss their anticipated expenses. And the town of Hampstead is once again pleased to offer 4 $1,000 scholarships to high school students that reside within the town limits and have been accepted into a college or university. The application is available for download at the Town of Hampstead website, which is hampsteadmd.gov, under news and announcements. Applications will be accepted through Friday, April 26th at 4 p.m., and they can be mailed. They can be dropped off here at Town Hall, or you can email them to Judy Rang at jrang@hampsteadmd.gov. And once again this year, we're proud to partner with American Legion Hampstead Post 200 to pay tribute to the brave men and women who served or are serving or have served in the United States Armed Forces. Banners with the military member's photo and branch of service will be displayed on the light post along Main Street from May through September, honoring their service to our country. Applications and more information can be found on our website, hampsteadmd.gov/military banners, or by calling the town office at 410-239-7408. And the deadline to order a banner is April 8th, and I know we still have spots available. So if anyone's interested, contact us here at town. And then this weekend, this Saturday, the first bulk trash pickup will take place on Saturday, March 16th. Residents should place bulk trash items curbside on the Friday evening before the pickup. These are bulk trash days on the third Saturday of July and October also. These days are reserved for large non-hazardous items like old chairs, appliances, etc. Tires, construction material, paint, motors, items with freon, oil, or other hazardous waste will not be picked up. So it always makes for an interesting Friday evening in Hampstead.
So old lawnmowers don't get picked up?
No.
Okay. Yes, community yard sale day.
You said that with such enthusiasm, Jim.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people look forward to Friday night more than Saturday.
I find it interesting to see what's left. Usually not much. So, when is yard waste start?
First Monday in April.
Okay.
We'll be putting something out on our Facebook page, hopefully tomorrow, because I did notice some out tonight driving home. So we'll make people aware that it does not start until April.
And our newsletter?
Our newsletter is at the printers right now. So hopefully early next week, it'll start hitting homes in Hampstead. And we'll put the full color version on the Facebook page and the website either tomorrow or Thursday.
Perfect.
Yep. Chock full of information.
Big update on PFAS in that
Yes.
newsletter, among other things. All right, oversights.
The Farmers Market Advisory Team met on March 4th. As of the date of our meeting, we have 9 sponsors and 12 vendors signed up for the 2024 market season. One of these vendors is brand new, Rosy Cheeks Distillery, which is located in Walkersville, Maryland. One of our vendors, Kelly Slade of Limestone and Larder, attended the meeting and presented ideas for a wider variety of prepared foods, both hot and cold, that customers can enjoy while they spend the morning at the market or purchase to go. A few suggestions were empanadas and single-serve fruit cups that could be prepared with meats and produce sold by other market vendors. So this is another good way to encourage collaboration among the vendors, and this helps to make the market even more of a destination. So we'll see how this develops over the next few months as we prepare for opening day on June 1st. Finally, Wade Schenk is the new property manager of Coppermine Pantherplex, so he is now our contact regarding the farmers market's use of the property.
9 vendors?
No, so far it's 12 vendors signed up.
Okay.
9 sponsors.
9 sponsors.
Got it. So that sounds low, but I guess it's early.
It sounds low, but it's still early, so,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, thanks, Diane. Wayne?
Hampstead train station has set the bands for Music in the Park this year. June 8th, we'll have Hickory Wind. June 22nd, we'll have music by Just Us. July 13th, it'll be Troy Engel and the Southern Skies. They were here last week. Last year, they were a big hit. Bootleg on the 27th. They're always a big hit. Best Regards on August 10th. And we have a new one coming, Mark Bale. He's a country singer. I went out to his website and listened to him. He's fantastic. So he'll be coming. And then, of course, we're going to finish the season on September 14th with Blue Moon Big Band.
The 10th, doesn't that same overlap with the carnival?
August 10th, it could. I think they're the week after that, aren't they?
No, that overlaps.
That's the week of Carnival.
It overlapped last year, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, the train station will open up on Hampstead Day. Tree Commission. We've been meeting the first Wednesday of the month now for a few months. We applied for a grant with the Maryland Urban and Community Forestry Committee. We were awarded that grant. It was for $1,000. We'll be planting trees over at Westwood Park on April 13th. So that'll be our Arbor Day for this year. And then we also put in a grant for the Chesapeake Bay Trust Urban Trees Award Program. This grant program offers up to $15,000. So we put in a modest grant for just under $4,000 to plant more trees over in the Westwood Park area.
How many more trees can you guys put up over there?
Oh,
We've lost quite a few over the last 20 years, seriously.
and they've got a lot of space over there. But any other HOA out there that wants trees, I heard that maybe Roberts Field might be interested in finally planting that 2 acres of barren ground they have out over there
Where's that?
behind Century Street. It's been over there for years, and it's too small to be used for community solar. I already checked into that, but maybe they'll finally come around and want to plant some trees there. So that'd be a great project.
All right.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Deb?
The Planning and Zoning Commission met on Wednesday, February 28th. The first item on the agenda was the zoning certificate for Pivot Energy solar panel installation of ground equipment at 1400 Panther Drive. The commission had previously asked during January's meeting that they move the equipment from the 482 Panther Drive corner to the location near where the sheriff's vehicles are located due to the size of the equipment and taking into consideration the aesthetics. The equipment is approximately 40 feet wide and 8 feet tall. The commission approved the change, providing that fencing and landscaping screening are added, suggesting some trees as well. Next was the approval of the Hans Concept Plan, S220003. The company already has county approval on everything they need, such as stormwater, traffic, and everything. The introduction of Chapter 8 of the Hampstead Community Comprehensive Plan, Housing and Community Design, was presented to the commission. There are 2 more chapters after this. So I knew you would ask. Finally, the Hampstead information for the 2023 Carroll Department of Planning Annual Report was approved. This information included everything accomplished in Hampstead for 2023. And as for the Carroll County Department of Planning update, the housing study is currently underway and should be completed in the fall.
Sounds good.
And I'm gonna pass that water over.
He comes right back over there, I know. All right, Dave.
Okay, just a quick update on the MML side. We will also be offering 3 $1,000 scholarships, again, to students who live in one of the county's municipalities. You can find that on our website here at the Hampstead website. The date that would need to be in would be the same date, April 26, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. War Memorial Park update. We have received more donations of native plants to finish filling in the beds and some of the stuff that didn't make it through the winter that we started last spring, and we also have a few more improvements that should be coming landscape-wise. Within the next month or so, Public Works will be helping to construct 2 flower beds at each of the town's welcome signs on Main Street. We will be planting several varieties of native plants, grasses, to add to the look of the welcoming signs. Also, I'm going to start bringing up some things about our new committee that we've had called the Main Street Committee, which I've been sitting in on for the past couple of years, and Jim has, and Judy as well.
Not really new, but okay.
Well, yeah, it's not really new, but we're trying to get it out and get everybody excited about it. So, just to give you a quick update on what it is, the Hampstead Main Street Committee is made up of business owners, homeowners, and dedicated folks who love our town and want to make our Main Street a fun place to be. In addition to community events, we are also working to keep our Main Street beautiful. To learn about other projects, follow us on Facebook at Hampstead Main Street. If you have any ideas or you want to get involved in this project, we would love to hear from you. Email us at hampsteadmsc@gmail.com or stop by and see us on Hampstead Day. We are going to be having a table right next to the Hampstead Merchants Association on the Matthews lot. Again, this year we are planning a Fall Fest, which will be held on October 12th, rain or shine this time, at the War Memorial Park. That will be from 10 to 3. And over the next few months, we're going to be having several flea market dates at the War Memorial Park to raise money for that event. Actually, that's going to be, the first flea market will be next month, April 1st, and June 15th and August 17th. So again, on our Facebook page, there's an application if you want to start, get a space to have stuff at the flea market. This past weekend, after talking about Main Street cleanup since last fall, we finally had our first Main Street trash litter collection. 5 volunteers started at 9:45 a.m., and after about 2 hours, we had covered the entire Main Street from track to track. We basically collected about 4 55-gallon bags of trash, weighing approximately 250 pounds. We got things from recyclables that were blowing, car parts, sign, metal holders, what have you. We're going to continue doing this, and we're going to try to do it the first Saturday of every month. Meet at the War Memorial Park. Anybody wants to help. And again, it's from that 9:45 to 11 range. And this is good because not only does it keep our Main Street in top condition, but it also keeps the stuff out of the drains and out of the storm water, which gets into the Chesapeake Bay. I'd like to thank Tammy Marie, who helped us that day, Molly and Patrick Rose, Keith Johnson, and myself. And that would be it for this evening.
When did you say the first flea market is?
The first flea market, April 1st. Actually, it's April 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
April 1st
gave
is
me
a
the wrong
Monday.
date here. Yeah, they gave me
Guys
the
were
wrong
up there.
date. Yes, thank you.
April
April
4th.
6th.
Just checking on me.
20th.
They said the 20th. Okay, they gave me the complete wrong dates
Yeah.
then. Okay.
It's April the 20th.
20th, June 15th,
Take your word for that one. I'm
yeah,
not
and
sure about
17th. Okay. This was typed for me, so. But thank you.
June 15th is the 3rd. So that's where we're going, third Saturdays?
Pretty
that.
sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know it wasn't April 1st.
Thank you.
All right. Ben?
Waited 10 months to do
Since
it.
you've been back, it's raining like a son of a gun. While you were gone, we almost had a drought.
Oh, man. I'm glad I'm back. All right. So for February, the average water usage was 337,000 gallons per day. So far in March, the average is 339,000 gallons per day. Rainfall for February was 2.08 inches, and for March so far is 2.44 inches. And Public Works also repaired 2 water main leaks this month.
And we were talking before the meeting about how much stuff they got out of our stormwater drains. So, how many tons? Ridiculous number. Chief, you're up.
Evening, everyone. During the month of February, with reference to traffic safety, we investigated 4 accidents. 3 were minor, 1 was reportable, and none took place at the 482 circle.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Speed signs were set at 3 locations for a total of 90 days of display. Traffic enforcement included 17 selective enforcements over a 9-hour period. Actions during that activity included 5 citations, 25 warnings, and 1 suspended driver arrest. Overall traffic enforcement included 271 citations and 270 warnings. 505 property checks were conducted. With reference to crime, 1 burglary was reported, 1 theft, 1 malicious damage of property, essentially that's vandalism, and 1 incident of fleeing and looting of the police. Arrests included 10 for traffic-related offenses, 1 DUI, 1 burglary, 1 theft, and the individual responsible for the vandalism. Training included 40 hours with the following topics: handle with care policy training, human trafficking, tourniquets and trauma kits, infectious and communicable diseases, defensive driving principles, holds and restraints, child abuse investigations, and priming and officer decision-making. What that refers to, that's a new concept, and essentially we have to be mindful that a lot of times our officers, based on the information they get, whether it's by phone, in person, or through the radio, sometimes that may give them preconceived notions of what they're responding to. So the idea is we're trying to teach our people to keep an open mind, essentially, when you go to calls, as opposed to being pigeonholed in what you think you're going to encounter. Community events included the Hampstead Elementary Fun Night, Hampstead Elementary Movie Night. 2 of our kindergarten friends paid us visits to the police station. We gave them a tour. The Shiloh Middle School dance, we attended the Springboard Domestic Violence meeting. Springboard is the company that basically oversees and provides all the domestic violence related services for the county. They hold periodic meetings. We usually participate in those as well. We also participated in the Handle with Care quarterly meeting. I've mentioned that twice. Once was the policy review we did for some training this month. But what that refers to is there is a mechanism that we have whenever we have an incident and there's young kids involved, not necessarily as involved in the incident. They may even just be there as a witness. It can be anything from a serious traffic crash to a domestic at the house to an ambulance call with the fire department. There is essentially through email, a way that we notify the school district, hey, just so you're aware of it, these children were exposed to some type of traumatic event last night. They in turn notify the teachers, the appropriate counselors, the administrators from the school, and they sort of have a heads up for the next school day that this child may not be, maybe not like they normally would be. We also attended the Robertsfield HOA. I'm going to go off the script here a little bit, a couple of add-ons. Dalton Cape and Matt Blanton are our 2 newest police officers. Well, they're not quite police officers yet, they're recruits.
They're working on it.
They made it through their first week of the academy. Hopefully they'll make it to the end, all right? It's a little premature sometimes, but put in perspective, they have 670 objectives that they have to pass over the next several months. So we wish them luck, and we hope to see them at the end of the summer. Last thing I want to mention is back in April of 23, during my report, I referenced a robbery that we had taken place, an armed robbery at what was the Flight Delta 8 business down at the Lower Black Rock Circle. It's no longer there now. The officers that night that handled it, Officer Reese, who was with us at the time, and Corporal Cranshaw, they did an incredible job. They were able to identify the actor involved, and within 2 days, I believe it was, we had him taken in custody by the marshals down in Baltimore. In a lot of ways, that's the easy part. What you don't see behind the scenes is all the work that goes into prepping for a case. In this particular case, the individual that was arrested, he sat for a jury trial. And jury trials, even though they're on TV all the time, they're really not all that common. And when you do actually have a jury trial, there's a load of work that goes into that. For us here conservatively, we have about 100 hours worth of work that we put into making the case and prepping for the case and getting ready for trial. And the other thing that you don't really know how it's going to play out is you really don't know what a jury, how they're going to perceive what you're presenting to them. You know, one of the things in our system to keep in mind is the state has to convince 12 people that this person's responsible. The defense only has to convince one person, and put a little doubt in that. I'm going to put I guess maybe this is not professional, but a shout out to Melissa Hockensmith, who was the prosecutor on this case. We had a 2-day trial back in February the 20th and the 21st, and at the conclusion, this gentleman was found guilty of all counts. So he'll be sentenced sometime in April. For everyone involved, from Melissa to our people, I just wanted to take a minute and say that it was an incredible job. All their hard work paid off. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody here and the public was aware of that. And that's my report.
Thank you. Any other questions for Dave? Nope. For those who were listening intently at home, it was a Baltimore City person who came up here to visit somebody, and while he was here decided to, for whatever reason, do what he did. So, the gift that keeps on giving. My comments were in the thick of the Maryland legislative session. I serve on a couple different legislative committees, one for Maryland Municipal League. Lots of activity. House bills this year, there are over 1,500 House bills. That's 141 legislators in the House of Delegates. And there were 1,182 Senate bills, and there's 41 senators. So you can see how prolific and busy they are. Crossover date is 6 days away on the 18th. So in order for the bills to continue through, they have to pass one or the other, the Senate or the House, for the other then to consider before we have sine die on April 8th. I think I mentioned last month one of the bills that's out there is the governor has an affordable housing initiatives and several housing bills, 3. One related to rentals, one related to how they get approved, and I'm blanking on the third. I know they're still going through the process, but they would change significantly how we review and approve subdivisions, and basically it would change how every single subdivisions are reviewed throughout the state. So we'll see what comes out of that. I'll give updates as we can. So I think on sine die is a Monday. We meet on the 9th, so we won't know all the ins and outs until in May, when we'll give you the latest and greatest last update. I will tell you the housing market in Maryland and in Hampstead continues unabated. There's just no supply out there. I was looking on some information today. Carroll County has, when a house comes on that's half decent, it's on the market for 9 days. Howard County's at 8 days, and Harford County's the laggard at 16. So I can tell you my son was looking for a house down in Canton and Baltimore City. I think he finally got it in number 5, and it was on the market. The 5th house he bid on, and it was on the market for 2 days. I looked in Hampstead on Zillow. There are basically 10 existing houses on the market in the entire zip code. One multifamily residential down on Main Street across from you, and then one townhouse, and then 8 single families, one of which is in foreclosure, and then there's 2 single families under construction, which won't even be ready till April. So that's the reason prices are staying up, because there is no supply and demand continues, even in the higher rate environment of 6 3/4 and 7%. That's good for our tax base, and steadies the amount of income that we get from your property taxes. But it's been interesting to see, because everybody would have thought prices would have dropped back, and they haven't. And you can see another reason for why the governor has done what he's done, and the fact that there is just very limited supply. Houses are not being produced, and Maryland cannot continue to do that unless we want them all to be $500,000 and higher. And obviously wages haven't gone up to offset that. So the other big piece of news is to keep on your radar, for what it's worth, May 14th is a Maryland primary. Even though the presidential piece of it will be long done by then, I think there's some U.S. Senator might be of interest for some folks. There are only 4 Board of Education candidates, so the top 4 go through to the general, so there is no real primary for the Board of Ed, and that'll push off until November when 2 get elected. So that's my report. Let's see. I was part of the legislative initiatives. The Carroll County delegation had us down to Annapolis a couple of weeks ago, so I went down for that on President's Day. That was very well attended by everybody in Carroll County who's loosely connected to politics. Unfinished business, there is none. In new business, we have the award of a contract for janitorial services here in Town Hall and in the police station and any other Public Works building that we have. You can see we got 2 bids. Jim?
And as you can see, there's a significant price difference between the two. It's over $11,000 over a 3-year period. It was kind of surprising. We've been with Multi-Core for a number of years, but Metcalf Cleaning came in, like I mentioned, over $11,000 less for 3 years. Judy reached out to the referrals they had listed, and they were Modern Comfort, they were the Westminster Fire Department, and they were the town of New Windsor. So all 3 replied with very high marks, and would definitely recommend Metcalf Cleaning, LLC. So that would be the staff's recommendations, that we go with Metcalf.
I move to accept the bid from Metcalf Cleaning, LLC.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Wayne, you wanted to talk about lack of general practitioner doctors in Carroll County.
Yes.
It's not just Carroll County.
I know, it's not just Carroll County. I had heard before that there was, but Dr. Ukowitzer impressed upon me the fact that we need to start making everybody aware of this. We've lost several doctors here in Hampstead.
And my doctor retired and he was in Westminster, so it's epidemic.
So they're becoming few and far between. They estimate that there's going to be 55,000 to 140,000 short by the year 2030. So,
and that's why we have Teledoc and what do we have, urgent care up at the shopping center.
yeah.
So
I don't know that there's much that we at the town can do, but I think that maybe government in general ought to look into seeing if there's some kind of incentive we can give to doctors to get them into Maryland, rather than, take the luck of the draw. Maryland's a great place to live. Hampstead's the greatest place to live. But we need to, maybe next year, try to push some of our senators and to try to.
one of those 1,500 bills might deal with that. That'd be a good idea.
I'd like to see us try to push for something like that.
Okay?
And it's not just primary care, it's also dentists.
Yes.
We've had several dentists retire, and the dentists that are still here are slammed. I've had appointments delayed, so at some point, hopefully nothing will happen, but, it's everywhere. I think our healthcare system overall is struggling.
Yep. Agreed.
That's all I wanted to bring up.
All right. Ordinances and resolutions. First, we have the introduction and adoption of Resolution 2024-01. We finally got the year right, which is a resolution to adopt the 2022 Carroll County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Jim?
So the Carroll County Hazard Mitigation Plan is intended to be a guide for the implementation of mitigation projects and initiatives within Carroll County, including all 8 municipalities. The goal of mitigation is to reduce or eliminate the probability of an emergency or disaster ever occurring. Mitigation activities can also include those that are intended to postpone, dissipate, or lessen the effects of an emergency or disaster. Town Hall and Public Works staff met with staff of the Carroll County Bureau of Emergency Management several times, probably over the course of 5 years, because first meeting was actually pre-COVID.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah, to discuss any possible hazards Hampstead may face, along with existing and potential mitigation strategies to address those risks and best protect the town. Carroll County updates this plan approximately every 10 years. The Town Council adopted a similar version of this resolution in 2014, and by adopting this plan tonight, the town of Hampstead has the benefit of participating in federal hazard mitigation funding programs, along with the rest of the municipalities in Carroll County in general.
So you're looking for a motion to introduce and adopt.
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second.
Further conversation, discussion?
Yeah, this is going to become one of the things that we don't exempt ourselves from that exist in Carroll County, right? That's what the, okay, just want to verify that.
And if anyone's interested in reading it, I do have a hard copy over here. It is 330 pages.
Yes.
So,
Put you to sleep, right?
Beach reading for later. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Lastly, is the introduction of ordinance 551, an ordinance to amend chapter 132 regarding water and all the operations related thereto. Anything to add there, Jim?
well, the only thing, basically, I just wanted to say that this chapter of the town code, which deals with water, portions of it were updated in 1995. Other portions have not been amended since the 80s. So we went in, basically, Kevin, Toby, and myself, and Tom Devilbus, we went in to make those revisions, bring the code up to procedure, standards, and costs of today. I know that Councilman Zolman was questioning the fact about installation of the service line, and so I tried to explain that basically we're just clarifying the code simply to state that it's the responsibility and cost of the developer and not the town. And Councilman Zolman also caught a good thing that we missed, is that we need to have in there that basically the line and all services from the main to the property, everything, remains the property of the town, and such property shall not be trespassed upon or interfered with, and that the town would maintain that line from the main to the property. So we went and we added that back in to the ordinance. It's on page 2, Article F at the end, titled All Services, continuing on. And then Councilman Zolman, you also inquired about the different standards for the material to be used in that. Kevin, you can probably explain it better than I can. So
We put in there that we required K copper and compression fittings. They're all generic standards. There's nothing there that's proprietary or by an individual manufacturer. When a developer comes in and wants to start talking about what we're going to put out in the system, at that time we give them a range of fire hydrants, valves that they can pick from. We don't limit or we don't endorse one product over another. So the things that are listed in there are just the bare minimum specifications that we're looking for when somebody puts a service line in, that we will then retain ownership of.
Like the meter, curb boxes or anything, if they want to put plastic in and you want concrete, how do they?
So basically, the town of Hampstead's not big enough to have our own spec book. Okay. So we piggyback off of Carroll County spec book. So they have more resources than we do, obviously, and we just use their spec book. There are very few variations from that. Things that I've found over the years that I think the few extra pennies are worth the squeeze on it. So, but other than that, we generally piggyback off of the county's specifications. There was the main reason this was brought to my attention. There was some conflicting language in here about what we retain and what the homeowner retains, and we were requiring homeowners to use K-copper on their side. Carroll County Plumbing Code does not. They allow them to use a range of products on their side of the valve, and they govern that. We don't do the inspections on that. Carroll County Plumbing does the inspections for everything beyond either the meter setter or the curb valve. So we wanted to clean that language up. We always felt bad telling a customer, homeowner, yeah, that leaks on your side, and now you have to use K-copper, when we really had no dog in that fight. So we wanted to clean that language up, and as we started reading through this, it needed updating. Some of the fees and things in there weren't covering our
Costs. It's been 29 years.
Yeah, so.
Different meters that are specified too? Do they have a different range? Or do you have to?
So the meters that you probably saw reference to census meters.
Right.
That's because that's proprietary to our system. if our reading equipment, our billing software is all part of the census system. So we wouldn't want somebody coming in to put in a Badger or a Hersey meter because we wouldn't have the technology to go out and read it. That is the one thing that we do specify. And we've, with 2,300 and some
2366,
I
something like
think.
that.
To do a complete meter change out to allow a different would be quite expensive and quite time consuming as well. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
And of course, those specs, they're also listed on the site plan, and the details are in the notes. So we put it out there that they're well aware of what they need to do. And if they do it wrong, this guy right here,
We try and catch it. Like sometimes things fall through the cracks, but we try to catch it. Basically, this is just to get some modern language in here and clean up some of the rust.
You good? Good.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to introduce ordinance 551. An ordinance to amend chapter 1 through 2 regarding water.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So we have the introduction.
next month, we will have a public hearing and hopeful adoption.
Okay. This does,
We'll have one public hearing, or possibly two next month. We'll have the stag and this ordinance.
okay, well, I think that'll just be so long and
We may have to
burdensome.
empty the room out after the first, bring in the crowd for the second.
That won't happen. Okay. Public comments? Anything? Doug, good to see you. Mimi, good to see you. Dave, as always. I've named everybody in the audience who's not working for the town. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Adjourned. Thank